And welcome everybody to the latest episode of N1 from the End Zone with your favorite host, King N.P.V. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor actually of being joined by a pro wrestler in the San Joaquin County community. His name is Firebelly Giga Herrera. He is a heel out here in Stockton. Giga Herrera, Firebelly Giga Herrera, how you doing today, brother?
Good, man. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be part of your show.
I really do appreciate you being out here. There we go. And let me fix your audio for a second.
Should I say something? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Torch is a twig.
Torch is a twig.
That guy, I'll break him in half. Comes to Albany. I'm gonna beat him up. I'm gonna finally get one over him. He's been kicking my ass.
Oh, there.
But I tortured his ass in my hometown of Tracy, California. And it's about my turn this Saturday. I'm kicking his ass. My win.
And whose ass are you kicking this Saturday?
Daniel Torch, been in this business for 20 plus years, but he hasn't faced anyone like me.
Torch has been in this business for 20 years?
For too long, man.
No way. He looks like he's 20.
Yeah. Well, he's a veteran for sure, but that kind of status, don't worry about me. I'm already a legend.
You beat a legend this past Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. I beat him. 1, 2, 3, fair and square, clean. I am a legend now. I took his name. Flaco Loco, legend, no more. Firebelly, Giga Herrera, legend, yes, sir.
And this match on Saturday we were talking about before we went live. It was a very special match, wasn't it? It was your 100th match, if I'm not mistaken.
That is true. It is my 100th match.
Dude, how does it feel being 100 matches deep? The journey from where you started to where you are now.
I already feel like a 20-year-old veteran. Like, I can't imagine, like, someone like Torch, who probably has lost count already, or someone like Flaco, who definitely lost count by then, right? I've been recording my stuff. Like, I've been recording my matches from match number 1. So I'm just seeing the people that I've been competing against and, like, seeing the level. You know what I mean? Like, from the beginning, I was working with people that are, backyarders, if you will, right? And then eventually led to people that I respect, and then eventually to people that I admired, to people that I've seen on TV I've worked with. So it's been one hell of a journey, and match 100 was really special, and I super honored to fight Flaco Loco in my 100th match. I'm even more honored I kicked his ass too. So.
Hey, I remember. Oh, you got him good too at the end of that match too. He thought you were gonna shake his hand. You shook it. You embraced him, and then what'd you do?
Like trying to rip his mask off. I want to see his ugly face. I want to see what it really looked like.
Hey, that's the ultimate sign of a disrespect when you take a luchador's mask, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, is that a thing? I had no idea it was a thing.
So, no, I'm actually working on... So, I have... Since I went live on TikTok, I got, like, 2 hour-long videos from that night. So, I'm actually going to be posting your full match, and I'll actually send you the clip to it, too. That was, honestly, a great match. You made a little kid cry in that match. What possessed you to do that?
Because he's dumb. He wore that mask. He's stupid. Like, why you gotta wear a mask that doesn't even fit you?
Yeah.
What a waste of money. I got really angry at that kid. Jesus. He should have bought my shirt. He should have bought my hot sauce.
Right? Oh, shout out to the what's your sauce called?
Oh, it's called belly sauce, brother. Real easy to remember. Belly sauce. That's right.
Made by Giga Herrera. You can find it at any show he is at.
Yep. And it's... Can I swear on this show?
Bro, you can do whatever you want on this show, dog.
It's fucking delicious, I'm telling you. It's hot, but it's sweet. It's habanero pineapple, And what's cool about the sauce is like you don't know if it's gonna be hot or it's gonna be sweet.
Hey,
It's
you should sell him. You should sell him through your Instagram. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I just got him. I just got these batch. It's a small batch hot sauce, and it's starting to grow. It got sold out last Saturday, so
It,
I have to make more. So,
so actually, how do you go about making your sauce, and what inspired you to make the belly sauce?
so is I've been thinking about it for a long time. So like, Firebelly, Giga Herrera. You think fire? As a pro wrestler, you want to be unique. You want to stand out, especially in the merch booth. Like, and anyone can get a T-shirt, right? Anyone can have stickers. I had to be something different, and I've been wanting to be different for a while. And it just hit me, of course, hot sauce, right? It actually took this pro wrestler by the name of Ellie. She wrestles in Berkeley, and we worked together. Finally, at a show at Vallejo, I believe, or Berkeley. Anyways, we were just talking about merch, and she was selling her like comic book stuff, like cool, like really cool stuff. Like yeah, yeah. So I was like, I gotta do something interesting too. And she goes, "What about hot sauce?" And I thought about hot sauce for a while, but I was just like hesitating. Like I don't want to be the guy that sells hot sauce, you know. But then, of course, it stood out, you know. Amongst the tables at Stockton, I was the only one with sauce on the table, and people looked, and that's important. People need to see you, and you have to be visible. You have to stand out, and
Well, not
yeah.
just that, brother. You a big man too, so you look like you know a thing or two about eating, and you know about your sauces, dog. You just look like you the perfect expert, especially with that mask. So actually, can we talk about your mask? What inspired that, and where did you get that idea from, bro?
Okay, so for those of you who don't know who I am, I come out usually with a Oni mask. Coming, I was trying to come up with a character. So when I started out in pro wrestling, it was the same message. How do I stand out? How do I stand out amongst the others? People wore masks. People didn't wear masks, but people didn't wear armor before a show. So I figured that's kind of like what I want to do. I want to be intimidating. I want to show armor before I got into a fight. Um, it I ran into a rabbit hole. I was looking at cyberpunk aesthetics, and I was looking at like future gear and stuff. And the one thing that was common in all of them was like this Japanese mask, and it was paired with like neon colored jackets or like super black jackets. And I just love the look of that dragon. And of course, I came from the school Dragon's Den, so it was like it makes sense. I'll wear something dragon-like coming out. In honor of my coach, Mike Hayashi. Like I wanted to show that I learned from him. So I wore that mask and it kind of just stuck. Um, and yeah, like I know I have variations of that mask now. Um, one day I'll have like a unique like design. Like so to pull back the curtain, it's an Etsy thing. Like you can go to Etsy and find that stuff.
Really, bro? You
Yeah.
should capitalize it and brand it or some shit. Cause I ain't gonna lie, it fits you so well.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
It makes your character intimidating, especially dude. Like when you're cutting a promo or whenever you got like an opportunity to just do something fierce, it works perfectly for you.
I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, like that's in the works. I'm planning to have a custom mask. It's been designed and everything. I just gotta find a printer. I have to find a person that can make it. But yeah,
How hard is it for you to get your? Actually, I got a few questions. So let's talk about your ring gear, and then we're gonna circle back because you said your coach Mike. What was his name?
Mike Hayashi.
Mike Hayashi. Actually, we'll talk about Mike Hayashi right now. So, was he your first teacher in pro wrestling?
Yes. I train in a school called the 209 Dragons Den. Um, the head trainer is Mike the Angry Dragon Hayashi. He's been training as a pro wrestler for 20 plus years. His mainstays is Hood Slam in Oakland. And of course he works in other shows like TWF and all that. The other trainers out there are Michael Sean, main event Michael Sean, CJ Dirt, Necrosis Black, Matt Freeman.
Hold on, CJ Dirt's a trainer?
Mhm.
Really? He looks so young. I thought he was like essentially like a student. He looks fluid in the ring though.
Oh yeah, like he's a genius in the ring, man. Like I can't like express how much of a genius he is. Like every time he's in our dojo, he has something new to teach us. He is in love with the game. He's in love with pro wrestling, and it shows. His promo work is spectacular. Like one of the brightest minds in pro wrestling right now. And that's not a work. It's a real shoot. So highly respect that man. Um, yeah, and he's been in the business for about 6 years, I think. Starting when I started out, so he's been around. He's been around. No, 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 no. It's around. It's this year that he finally started to become a trainer. Like he's learning now to become a teacher. So he's in that phase now in his career. So I started training in 2022. I record everything that I do. So I literally started in June of 2022. And then I debuted as a semi pro wrestler in January 2023. Yeah.
So, how old were you when you started?
Oh man, now you're gonna
Now,
show.
no, like now I'm gonna drill in. I'm gonna drill in a
All
little
right.
bit.
All right. Okay. Well, believe it or not, man, I am 35 now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hey, you're
So
telling me I still got a shot?
yeah,
Hey, you
dude.
telling me I still got a shot?
I tell everyone, man, like if you really want it, just go get it, you know. It took me the pandemic to be like, let me get what I want before shit goes down. So I started training at 32. Yeah. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then when you started training, what was it that actually motivated you to finally go and pursue this dream of yours?
It's been like a it's when I first started training, I just thought of it as a bucket list. You know what I mean? Like life's too short. I prior to training at pro wrestling, I really had bad mental health. Like I was super anxious, always nervous. Um, and like I got like it got bad during the pandemic where I started to finally get panic attacks, right? So it was kind of like I had to get better. So I went into therapy and I got medication to really like trying to even myself out. And while I was doing that, I thought to myself like I there has to be some sort of release because I was stressing over life. I was stressing over really irrelevant things at this point, right? But your brain doesn't allow you to forget that. So it took one of my friends who was a coworker of mine who also is a pro wrestler introduced me to the Dragon's Den. And so when I got into training, I realized I loved it. I grew up watching it. Like I'm sure you've grew up watching it. Like
Do my Monday night Raw stream, like live streams and reviews, and then I also do my Friday Night SmackDown. Now, personally, I really stopped watching it on a weekly basis like 15 years ago, mainly because my favorite wrestler was Jeff Hardy, and then when he left because he lost the world title and then he went to TNA, I kind of fell off like my consistent viewing. I've kept up with the storylines and everything, so I know what like has been happening, and it's easy for me to get dive back into it. Um, but where the product is now to where it was like 10 to 15 years ago, it's a much different, much better product. There's more opportunity for everybody, and for me personally, I uh, we'll talk about your dreams, but for me personally, when it comes to WWE content, I love how they've embraced the international market. They're going into New Japan, bringing the strong style in. They're coming in with the lucha libre. So there's a lot of diversity, and they got their hands literally in everything.
Mhm.
When it comes to you and your pro wrestling journey, what is your ultimate goal?
I've always people keep asking me this question, and I always give them the same answer. If I ever become a security guard at WWE and get knocked out by Braun Breaker or whatever, I'll retire. That's my pin. That's my peak. If I end up becoming a security guard somewhere, yeah, if I like get kicked, I get my ass kicked by Jacob Fatu for like trying to frisk him. Like that's it. I'm good.
Hey,
uh,
Jacob's from Sac, if I'm not mistaken. The Usos
yeah,
are from this area, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah. I train with I I train. I work with Oasis Pro Wrestling a lot, and that's their main shows. Yeah, the Samoans are in that show in Oakland. So
Oh,
I
I
get
didn't
it.
realize that. That's awesome, man. Have
Yeah,
you
yeah.
worked with any Samoan wrestlers or from the dynasty? We call them a dynasty.
Really funny because you'd be surprised that there's so many of them. Like you know what I mean? Like we actually had a student named Zeke, who is family of the Fatus. And he came in to the Dragon's Den first and to learn how to master the craft. And of course he's part of the dynasty. He picked it up so quickly. He's already in LA, like doing his thing. Like he's only a year.
So
Yeah.
did he go to like Rikishi's school after he learned the basics?
Yeah, he went to Knox. Now I know like that's kind of like we shouldn't talk about Knox right now, but like you know what I mean.
Why?
But yeah,
So what's the? So sorry. What happened with Knox? It, like I heard something happened where their WWE ID got taken down or whatever, right?
yeah. So it was this whole thing where Knox Pro Wrestling had a show.
By the way, you're not giving your opinion. You're only reporting the facts.
Right. Yes, yeah. Yes. Um, they invited Rampage Jackson's son, Raja Jackson.
The Raja incident.
It was on that show. That was Knox. Yeah.
Oh, that was a Knox show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you didn't even have to say much. I know exactly what you're talking about. I
Yeah,
didn't realize that was a Knox show.
yeah. It was rough.
That
I,
sucks. That
it's
really
funny,
sucks.
right? It's really funny because we had insights sources. You know what I mean? Like we got to like talk to people that were directly involved in it, and like people or indirectly involved rather. Like they were in the facility when it happened. So it was really interesting.
Dude. So did you know? Fuck, I forget the guy's name. Sid, Psycho Sid. What was
No,
his
no, no,
name?
no, not in that way. Like the closest relationship I have with Knox Pro is Zeke. Like because he's
Okay.
yeah. So I was just asking him questions, and obviously like I can't say a lot, right?
No, yeah, that obviously that's personal between them. But damn, man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that was a Knox show where Raja took down the big guy. But
yeah.
damn, man, that really sucks.
Mhm.
So for you, your ultimate goal is if you could be an extra on WWE. Is it WWE or would you be open to being an extra in AEW?
Like AEW, yeah.
Just an
But
extra somewhere.
I've like in this war between WWE and WCW back in the '90s, I was a WWE kid for, through and through. So much so that I didn't even know what WCW was. You know what I mean? So end goal would be WWE, but I'm being realistic. Like I rather just go down this rabbit hole, see where it takes me. And so far, it's been taking me to places I never thought I would be going to. So, who knows?
What are some of the places you've been to that you never thought you'd actually be been to? And what are some of the accomplishments you're very proud of doing? Aside from the 100 matches in, because dude, 100 matches, that's a big one, dog.
Thank you. This one's actually surprising. I actually wrestled in the Philippines. Mhm.
What was that experience like?
Like it's despite language barriers, that's definitely back here. Shirt pro wrestling is my first language. It's very similar. Like hanging out with those people out there. FPW, Filipino Pro Wrestling. That's the name of their show. Um, they they are just as passionate as we are in the states. Like probably even more because they have to sacrifice more. Because like it's a smaller market out there. Like they don't. It's not as big um, a pro wrestling culture as it is in America. But the fans that are there are hardcore about it. They're huge about it, and I was so like fortunate that I was able to be part of that show. It was actually like by circumstance because I had to go to the Philippines for family, right? And I was like I did with pro wrestling. I'm just gonna go for it, see what happens, right? I contacted the pro wrestling shows out there, and it was amazing. They're like, "Yeah, come on in and let's train first, see how you do." They like what I did, and then they put me on their first student show, like their first like B show, if you will. So it was really cool.
So actually, what was that experience like? Like, so going there, approaching a promotion who you don't have any contacts with, right? I'm guessing you went in blind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I definitely. It was, let me take it back a little bit. I knew of them for sure because I followed them on Instagram before
Okay.
I connected them, and I was so impressed of like the production value. Like the shows looked amazing, and I was just like really impressed that it like they're having wrestling shows.
So
Um,
my other question would be like, how hard is it to? Because obviously, when you're calling spots, like we're going a little bit behind the scenes right here. But when you're calling spots, you're calling out what you're going to do next. How hard is it to communicate when there's a language barrier, or how do you like? How are you able to determine what happens next?
well, I mean, in the Philippines, English is 1B. Like you have to learn English. So they spoke to me in English, thank God, to communicate during like calling spots and stuff. So that was cool. Um, but I think you noticed too, because you've trained before, like body language is just as important. Like if you know how um to really show that you're gonna do like an arm drag, you show them your hands, or you know how to do a hip toss, you show them the other hands. Like that universal, it's
It's literally
universal.
a lot of telegraphing at times, but
Yes.
that telegraphing works for not just your safety but your opponent's safety because it braces them for what's to come next, right? And that's how
Yeah.
you avoid a lot of the injuries, which is really at the end of the day what you guys do, especially when you're going internationally and you're doing stuff like that. I know WWE has a lot more like safety protocols, but when you're doing indie shows like this, sometimes it gets rough, bro. Sometimes it gets crazy. How crazy are some of the matches that you've been in?
um,
What's the craziest one you've been in, actually?
I've been in a cage for sure for the first time only like a month ago. So it's a weird question for me because like I know my value. Like I can't do hardcore matches unless it's something special or that I get paid well for it. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely that person. Um, but I had to experience the cage. So it was against Jason Hastings, who's retiring this year. So I was honored to be part of that journey for him. So I was like, yeah, let's do this cage match. Um, it sucked. I still have the scars from the cage match. And this was like a month ago. Like so it's still there. Like it's gonna probably be here for the rest of my life.
Jesus Christ, how brutal was it? Where can I find that video?
Uh it is on their Zebo show.
Zebo show. We'll
It's
find it somewhere because I got
yeah,
to
yeah.
see that. You were in a cage match,
Yeah, yeah,
like
but
a steel cage, or what kind of cage was it?
oh, it was like a bubble cage. No, it was a steel. Like it was like fences and like they did like it's jagged edges and shit.
Was it like Was it like a WWE steel cage, or was it one of those like old school square ones with the big holes?
No, it's the fence, the metal fence, the metal like.
Wow. Oh, dude, I gotta find. I'm gonna find that video and I'm gonna gotta watch it, dog. Cause that's really impressive, especially for an indie show to do a steel cage match. That's crazy. So you were talking about Jason Hastings. Uh, how old is he and why is he retiring? He looks like he still has a lot in the tank left.
Well, like when you're wrestling, it does take a toll on your body. He's told like he should you should have him on your show.
I'd
He'll tell
love to if you could hook that up. Yeah, for surely.
he'll tell you like the injuries he has now, and he's still working. Um, but I'll leave it to him to talk about it. But ultimately, like he said, it was his time, and I respect it. Like he's been going up doing it for 20 years too. So yeah, yeah.
Gonna lie, a lot of you guys at Dragons Den, y'all look younger than you really are. I swear to God, Daniel Torch, he still looks like he's barely 25,
I
barely
mean,
hit.
also like some of these cats have been
Same with
wrestling
CJ Dirt,
for
by the way.
right. Like some of those cats have been wrestling since their teens. So like 20 plus years, they're still like 30 in their 30s. My coach, who yes has been training for 20 years, he's only 36, 37, I think. So in late 30s. Yeah. So he wrestling years, he's like a senior, but like we're the same age range, pretty much. Yeah. Hmm.
That's truly inspiring, bro. Like,
Yeah,
well,
I honestly, man, like indie pro wrestling is the way to go if you really want to, like,
well, dude, no, just the culture and the environment. Like, so I'm not gonna lie, when it came to Saturday, because it was the Canelo Crawford fight, I had like my second thoughts about coming to the TWF show because it's a big mock boxing match, right? Like you got Crawford, you got Canelo. Obviously, it's on Netflix, so I can always rewatch it whenever.
right.
But the thing is, I had a feeling that I had to go. And once I got there and the show started, I think it was the J. Cruz promo that kicked off the show with Big MF.
Mhm.
You kind of just felt the vibe and started rolling. I'll be real with you. It wasn't until you came out with your mask and started yelling at the crowd and yelling at the kid that I really got into it, bro. And I'm just like, I gotta stay here. And no, and like the fact that you were buying into it and you were like, because I was filming, you were buying into like being filmed, the camera, everything. So it really sucked me in, and I'm just like, I fucking love this. And then the matches, bro, themselves, even though it was like it was a super small venue. Is that where TWF usually holds their events?
No, we're a traveling show, so that's just one of our venues.
Okay, because that like I thought that was one of like that's a super small venue, and you guys still tore it the fuck down with your moves and with like the crowd involvement and everything.
So here's me pulling the curtain. Flacco is one of my mentors. Like he is someone that I trust with when I need to ask for advice. Um, he also helped coach. He coached me in another school, which I like, and like I value his lessons. Um, the one thing he has taught me is that no matter how big the venue is, no matter if you're wrestling for 100 people or just one person, connect with that person, and it's gonna be an amazing show for that person. So I try to learn from that. I try to like like I'll be honest, like when it's the bigger the show for me, the excitement I get more excited and I get more into the show. Um, so that crowd was actually really good. I love like the roar of the crowd really helped me like entertain you guys because your guys' reactions helps me like direct where I want to be. And yeah, yelling at the kid twice, that was perfect because that helped establish that I'm the asshole of the show.
When you yelled at the kid, like I cannot stress enough how masterfully you executed that. because some people, when they yell, they just yell and they say absolutely nothing. But everything that you said felt like it had context. And it struck the kid in the heart for surely, because he started to break down not once but twice, but twice. Oh man, um,
I felt so bad. I felt so bad. But
and
he, but I appreciate that because what I was yelling was because at that moment I felt it felt real to me. Like that's how you should. That's how pro wrestling should be. Like you should feel the stuff you're saying. If you don't believe what you're saying, you're not doing it right. So like when I was yelling at it kind of came out as frustrations of like why aren't I like higher in the card, or like why am I still a underling, or why am I a mid carder, and like I want to be a legend too. Like that stuff I was trying to manifest, and it you really have to attune into that, or otherwise you're not convincing. If you can't convince yourself, you can't convince other people. So I really appreciate what you said there because I at that moment I felt it felt real. That was my authentic self.
yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a big Firebelly fan, dog. Like, you like expressing it right now, kind of makes me buy into you and your character a lot more, bro.
Appreciate
It's
it, man.
it's just no, cause like, dude, you got talent. You got
Thank
a
you.
lot of fucking talent, bro. In the ring, not just in the ring, but like on the mic too, bro. And it's clear, like you've worked on your craft for the last. You started back in 2022, right? So it's
Yes.
2025. In the 3 years that you've worked, I've seen people when I used to train at Pro Wrestling Revolution, because that was my wrestling school. Shout out to Gabriel Ramirez, excellent teacher, excellent experience for me. I loved it. But I knew students that were there a couple years that just couldn't pick it up, and they were still in the beginner class, bro. And it wasn't on Gabe, it wasn't on the teachers. Like they just couldn't grasp it. It just like the athleticism or something, and they couldn't move up. And you're over here just 3 years in. You're 100 matches in. Like you're killing it, bro. You're tearing it the fuck up, and you're not just tearing it up. You're developing your character. You have a personality, and you're executing it to perfection. Better than I'd say some of the people right now, like at least from the show that I saw at TWF. To be completely honest with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Like my philosophy has always been it's a tough philosophy because it definitely will overwhelm you. But if you're gonna do something, do it 200%. I that was my philosophy starting because when I first started, I did everything. I I I went to every class, and I went to every show. I helped broke down the ring every show. Um, I went to different schools. It got me in trouble actually. I went to different schools to because I wanted to learn something different. It got me some heat, but it taught me different philosophies, and I picked up some things from that school, while I picked up a lot of things of my from my main school. Um, it's a draining thing. It's definitely I took a lot of sacrifices. Like it was a lot of me dedicating my time learning this craft and being part of the craft and just being involved in pro wrestling while like, you know, gave up some personal things, you know. But if you really want to do this, like that's the stuff you have to really take. And a lot of students nowadays, like they don't understand that. So I think I think that's why I stand out. It's because I did that. I went gung ho, you know. Meanwhile, some people, and I get it, people are living life, and I get that. So like, grass is greener. Like sometimes I wish I was able to like took my time, you know. But it was more of like because of my age. I was 32 when I started, and I kind of have the same mentality. Like, oh my god, I'm 32. I gotta catch up. Right? I'm not a 20-year-old. I'm not Noah 209 boat that has all his life ahead of him. I'm not Assassino who's in his prime right now. I'm not Paris who's gonna be a star one day and super young still. Like I am like I have to. go, or else I'm not gonna go anywhere. So that was my mentality, and I really appreciate you like recognizing that.
I can see it, and that's something that I can actually like relate to you with, because for me, time is very limited. Time is very limited. Literally, like I break it down in like sections of three sometimes, right? Like three every 3 hour intervals. What are you doing 3 hours ago that is helping you like now, or 3 hours into the future, or whatever, right? Um, but like for example, we you had the show. We I went to your show on Saturday, right? Sunday, I had to do some stuff, had to work on some stuff, had to create content. Then I had to go do bowling. Then I had to go to sleep early, go to the gym. There's like just so many things you have to do, and your time goes by like that. And then it's the next day. Monday, you wake up at 3 a.m. You got to go to work. You got to drive like an hour, hour and a half, get to work, come back, to go to your gym routine. Then you got to sit down, make some dinner. Then you might have time to shoot. And dude, time just keeps going. And sometimes, especially to do this, because I remember when I was training, this is before I had my kids, this is before I had my wife, this is like when I was still young and I was going through like a toxic relationship. I fell on wrestling because it was the one healthy thing that kept me away from going back into the toxicity. And it was something that I could just commit my time, my dedication to. And when I committed it, dude, every Saturday there's an event. Every Friday there's an event. Sometimes at least when I was in PWR, they had connections with NJPW. So whenever they came into the Bay Area, we would work their events in San Jose. We'd work their events in San Francisco, and I got to meet characters like Will Ospreay, Juice Robinson, Joshin Thunder Liger, Ultimo Dragon. Like I got to meet all these legends in the business. You know who Psycho Clown is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I shook
Currently
his
in
hand,
LA.
bro. He came
Nice.
to a Mount Pleasant high school show and he main evented, and I got to shake his hand. I got to meet him, and that's the one thing I loved about training to be a pro wrestler. You just got to meet all these different people, and like you're enthralled in the community. But with being enthralled in the community, it just takes a lot of time and a lot of sacrifices. And you who clearly have given all your time, all your dedication to this to be who you are today, man.
I
And,
appreciate it.
and that's
Uh,
admirable, dude. Do you have
yeah.
any kids?
No, that's awesome, right? I'm single and no kids. Like it. That's what probably helped me out. Like pro wrestling became like my obsession. So like that's how it kind of did that. Like you were mentioning like your routine yesterday on Sunday, and I totally like relate to that. Like yesterday, I had 3 matches at Oasis. So like you're like that those 3 matches for like equivalent to all the things you were doing like yesterday, you know what I mean? Like that's where the sacrifice comes in. Like you can't have a daily routine anymore. Like you have to be able to be obsessed with it. Um obviously I don't want to preach obsession because I think balance is super important as well. I think it's what got me in trouble in the first place in 2022 when I was just obsessing with one thing and it just killed my spirit, you know? So like pulling back to current, I am still looking for balance. So, like right now, like my addiction is pro wrestling, and like the stuff I want to do is I still want to do it. So, but hopefully, some someday I'll be able to balance my life out so I can like go on a date. you know,
No, but bro, like I'll be real with you. Like you're still young. I'm still young. The way that I see it is, we work hard now, and by the time we're in our 40s, that's when we get to kind of take our foot off the gas a little bit and kick back. But we work hard now. We work hard now for our future, right? And that's ultimately what you're doing. Uh, Dude, I had like another question for you. Like I'm zoning out right now. It was in regards to. Oh, actually, do you want to have kids? Do you want to start a family someday? Or is this something that you're willing to put aside to continue to pursue this goal of being a pro wrestler?
I think at this point in my life, if the opportunity comes where a family becomes, if I can start a new family, if I find like the love of my life, I would drop this in a heartbeat. Yeah. Like if it got to a point where I found someone I can really, really connect to, I think I can drop it like on a dime. I think that's how I like. If I find a new obsession, I will go gung ho 200%. So right now, pro wrestling has my heart, but if someone comes in and like,
What if you meet somebody in the business, man? Because that happens every
oh,
day. That
that's
happens
fair.
a lot.
It does happen. No comment, no comment on that.
I
But
mean,
it's kind of like, yeah.
in a perfect world, would it be better if you fell in love with a girl that's also in the business? Because if you do, that means you guys can both continue to pursue this or not.
I would actually disagree with that. Like, if that person is away from it, because I would love it where I don't have to talk about pro wrestling 24/7. If like, my best friend, my brother, if you will, like, when I visit him, he doesn't know anything about pro wrestling. So we get to talk about movies and life, politics, and like his kids and his wife. And like, it brings me back into reality, which I need. So if it was up to me, I hopefully find someone that like will understand my obsession with this, but also will bring me back to reality when I need it. You know what I mean? So that's where I am in my life.
You want that anchor because you like right now because no ultimately the world of pro wrestling it's it's a magical world, right? We can call it magical. It's a fantasy world,
Yeah, for sure.
but
Like,
it's so easy for people to get lost into it. Like look for I'll give you a couple of big legendary examples. Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair. They live their personas or their gimmicks 24/7, and they've lost at times when Hulk Hogan was alive and even Ric Flair now, they've lost sight of like who they truly are. There's so much that their personas, their gimmicks are who they truly are at this point.
no, for sure,
And
100%.
that's clearly that it's good that you've acknowledged that you don't want to necessarily do that. You've also said you've had issues with your mental health. How what spawned that, and how have you dealt with it throughout your life, or is this something that happened within the last few years?
Honestly, it's like that mental health issues happened when I wasn't releasing stress. When I wasn't like expressing myself the way I really wanted to. Pro wrestling helped that with me. Not only I was able to exercise, which relieves stress, but performing and like having fun, like diversions from the real world and being with bros and girls that are into it as well, like have that camaraderie, that in itself was that helped me a lot. Like it gets to a point where I forget to take my medication because I feel great. I feel fine because I'm having a good time. Yes, it's stressful. Yes, I'm having like life issues still, but it's still like life and life's great. So like that perspective stays and lingers. So yeah,
I'm
well,
not gonna lie, bro. I'm somebody that fucking hates when I hear people have to take medications to like calm down. It's a beautiful thing when you can control that and actually like keep yourself balanced because that's hard to fucking do, man. That's
no, for
hard to
sure.
do.
But also like I wouldn't like say I don't take medication. I should. Like,
No, obviously, but the fact that like you're like, okay, I don't need to take this pill right now because I feel positive, I feel good, and I'm not gonna take it. That's good. Does that affect you in the long run?
I think so.
Yeah.
I hope not. I like I don't want to get like immune to my medication. Like I think it is helping. So yeah.
Do you, oh, so ultimately, right now in TWF, do you want to become champion?
Absolutely. Yeah. I I am truly honored that Jake trusts me with an angle. Um, being a prominent figure in the show. I've seen wrestlers come and go at that show and kind of like they get lost in the shuffle. I'm truly honored that he keeps me. He's interested in me being part of the show monthly. Um, and I hope that someday that would be up there in the main card. Um, I've worked with Landon on a match in matches, and we have great chemistry. Um, I think Flacco and I had great chemistry. Lester, one of Lester's a legend, a TNA legend. We've worked together. We had a good match too. He's trusting me with some of his namesakes and his legends, and I am truly honored. And I hope that he will trust me one day to be his top champ. But I will. I'm trusting Jake to lead me there. As long as I keep doing my work, as long as I can pay my dues, if you will, that it will happen.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. If you keep developing Firebelly the way you're developing him, bro, like it's only a matter of time, bro. Like I swear to God. Um, and then I guess my last question to wrap this all up:
Mhm.
what is something that you would recommend, or a piece of advice you'd give to the people that comes from the heart?
You have to commit. If it's something you truly want, you have to commit. I've seen students who are so talented, but life gets in the way. And I get it. Life gets in the way, and that's something that we all have to go through. But if you really want it, you'll figure it out. And sacrifices are to be made. Like people, I don't think it's interesting that people forget that sacrifices are meant to be made to do anything you want to do, right? If you want to be a doctor, you need hours of studying. If you want to be an actor, hours of acting. If you're a pro wrestler, you have to commit. You have to be able to let go of the fear of getting hurt because pro wrestling, you're going to get hurt. Um, so my advice is if you really want this, you really want to be on a show, stop treating it like a show and start treating it like it's a career you want to have and commit. So that's my advice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Firebelly, Giga Herrera. Giga, where can they see you next, brother?
This Saturday, I'll be up in the mountains. TWF has a special show up there. I have a hard time always saying this fucking town. Tuolumne, Tuolumne,
Tualia or whatever?
Tuolumne, Tuolumne. It's the hottest show ever in TWF. Every time we're up there, the floors rumble. That's how loud they get.
Oh,
Like
really?
they love pro wrestling. They love to be entertained, and like I always love going up there. It's a bitch to get up there. I'm not gonna lie, but once you're up there, it's gangbusters. Like one of the best wrestling shows I've ever been, and I've experienced it twice. They have this is their fourth time going up there, um, and it's one of the best shows ever. And I'll be wrestling Torch on that Saturday, so it's gonna be big versus small, fast versus strong, athleticism versus character. It's going to be a good match.
My money's on Firebelly, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here. Giga gonna bring it home.
Sure.
For
I have one more show actually I wanted to shout out.
yeah, go for it.
I am debuting as a Oasis pro wrestler on Friday, September 26th in Benicia. Um, so it's the same show that like not to sound like a mark or anything, but where Jacob Fatu wrestled. So and a bunch of like the WEID show.
I was gonna say you ain't no Mark, brother. You on the path to the big leagues, dog. So hey, shout out. He's gonna be at Oasis Pro Wrestling. What date?
Friday, September 26th. It's called season premiere.
Guys, go check out Oasis on Friday 26th in Benicia, where Giga the Fire. Oh no, sorry, Firebelly Giga Herrera will be debuting as an Oasis Pro wrestler. You can also follow him at Giga Herrera on Instagram, as shown on your screens right there, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, oh, actually, there's one more thing. What's the school that you go to, and give him a quick shout out to?
Oh, best school in 209 by none, not a word. Shoot. 209 Dragons Den. At 209 Dragons Den on Instagram. You're gonna learn from the best. You have lucha wrestling. You have shoot wrestling. You're gonna learn psychology. You're gonna learn how to work. Like you could be the best athlete in the world. We're gonna teach you how to be an actual pro wrestler, and that's a shoot. So come through 209 Dragons Den out in Lodi. We also run shows there. Um, it's one of the best schools, and I've, as a person that's trained everywhere, I've been to different schools all over California. I always say 209 Dragons Den is the best.
Oh, actually, I wanted to touch on something really briefly. Why do you think? Why do schools have an issue with students going to different schools to train? My perception. So this is my perception, and this is something that I think was kind of like dumb, because if you are starting off in this business and you still got to pay your dues regardless of whatever school you're going to, even if you go to that school or you want to be on their shows, you got to pay your dues for them in order to be put on their like card. Why is it always an issue? It's not like my opinion is the school that you're at. Yes, it's great. Yes, they might be able to eventually give you your big break, but they're not necessarily prioritizing allowing you to connect with other promotions out there that are going to allow you to showcase your skills and your ability.
Right. The simple answer is territory. It's think of it like gangs. If you cross my territory, I'm fucking you up. Like that's what I've was in that perspective. I was taught that from various sources. And again, I don't want to say too many names, but I got heat because I went to the people's territory and I was like trying to be inclusive. So I understand where they're coming from. I'm in that mindset where I want to network with everyone, but I also think that that mentality of territories is starting to change. I think if it weren't for like Zeke also being affiliated with Oasis, I probably wouldn't have been in Oasis as often. But because of that, like we are finally being able to be more like I could be able to be everywhere. So
That's awesome, bro. Cause yeah, like I remember the business, or at least when I was training, man, it's a cutthroat business, man. Like promoters, for some odd reason, they just don't get along with each other, and like students come and go or whatever. It goes sideways, man. And I kind of hate it, because at the end of the day, like most of the students or most of the wrestlers that still show up on those shows have trained at the other school or at other places, and you're still gonna need them regardless, right? It's
right.
it. There's just so many. There's just a finite or so many wrestlers that are trained that are an attraction that you can call, right? But with actually that being said, guys, don't forget September 26th in Benicia at Oasis Pro Wrestling. Firebelly Giga Herrera will be making his debut. Also, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops. Always remember, desire is power. If you desire to be great, you have the power to be great. Thank you for watching this interview with the Firebelly Giga Herrera. You can get his Firebelly sauce at any event he's at. It is delicious. You'll love it. I will
Appreciate
see
it.
y'all